Hello, everybody. Why do we go to school? Why do we try to obtain an education? It's one of the central questions that we see throughout one's life. And through one's peers and through one's professional and personal interactions. And so I thought what would be most interesting is to talk about education from a foundational viewpoint. The word education means to bring out or lead out. It's defined as bringing out or leading our capacity for life. In essence, education allows one to achieve their potential in life. When you're exposed to much more, you can do much more. That's what education does. Another definition, university. It comes from the word universal. And so it means that you're exposed to all the possibilities that may exist in one's life. So, in essence, we've learned from just the definition of education, the definition of university, are all about the universality of our world. And the important part is what you're not exposed to, you're unaware of. And that's a great thing about travel, too. There's a great saying from Thomas Sowell who said, travel is fatal to prejudice, which means that the more you travel, the more you see. The more you see, the less afraid you are of things. That is what education is about. It allows you to see the inherent possibilities that exist throughout the world. And from there, you're able to explore those that are most important to you, are most interesting to you. And that's one of the great things about what education does. So, next, I want to talk about the piece of paper. Some go to education because they need to advance their career. In other words, I have to have a piece of paper that says that I'm educated. Here's what the piece of paper means. When you go to get a degree, and a degree is something that signifies that you've attained a certain level. That's what a degree means. When you obtain a certain degree, what it states to somebody, an employer, is that you have a certain level of competence, of knowledge. It means if you have a bachelor's degree, most, if not everybody, understands that you have to go to school for 4 years, take a variety of subjects in a certain discipline. So you have those knowledges. You would have had to pass those courses. You would have had to learn some of that. And that signifies or is codified in a degree. Here's why it's important. Without that degree, it's almost impossible to relay to somebody that you have a certain level of experiences, that you have a certain level of knowledges. So you could say you've taken this course or that course, but there's not, I call it like a basket, almost a fruit basket of knowledges that you have that's contained in this degree. Without something that says that you have this degree, that culminates in a bachelor's, a master's, or doctorate, it's nearly impossible to relate to somebody that you have those knowledges. And that's an important aspect, and that's what's so key about what we know about degree, how it can transform our lives. Again, it goes back to possibilities. If everyone in our world had a level of education, was exposed to the great ethics and morals and social mores, and that understood about treating people respectfully and a sense of honesty, and believes in some of the values that we get from education. But people who go to education have to work hard. Those things you can learn in other arenas too, but in education, those are really the central messages that we see. That knowledge should rule your decisions, not necessarily your gut instincts. If everybody had that level of education, it really would transform our lives. In fact, if you look throughout history, those societies that propelled the world forward were the ones that had the highest degree of education within their populations, from Egypt to Spain, to England, to China, to Japan, to the United States. At one point in history, they had the greatest knowledges and the greatest educational systems, and those propelled their people to the preeminence of the world at the time. Hope this is a great primer on education. Certainly look forward to our next presentation. Everybody have a great day.